The children's magazine Highlights conducted a new survey of kids, and unlike the old days, these kids don't want to grow up to be president. 65% say they wouldn't want the job, citing things like too much pressure and too much attention to criticism. I don't blame them. Even at your best, half the country can't stand you. And look at our former presidents. They never look happy. And it's no wonder. After serving your country for 8 years, what do you get to do? You have to spend the next 20 constructing a library that no one will ever visit. You have to give vapid speeches to people who probably don't know what you're saying. And for the rest of your life, everywhere you go, these guys will be hanging around you. Well, those are Secret Service guys. I know it didn't look like them, but they were. What I found most interesting about this kids poll is their answers about what's important to them. Like, what about their country makes them most proud? Only 8% said because kids can get what they need here, while 50% said because of the freedoms or unique rights of Americans. They sound like little conservatives in the making. Kristen, does this encourage you?
A little bit, but I mean, I'm not surprised at all, Tom, that kids don't want to be president. I mean, like, poor little Billy, take little Billy. He, like, walks into the room while the TV's on, and he sees Trump calling Hillary crooked and the devil, and then he sees Hillary calling Trump a racist woman hater. I mean, the poor kid watches the TV and he goes, "Mommy, is the devil going to be president?" I mean, like, the only ones who want to be president at this point are probably the schoolyard bullies.
Well, you know, maybe Billy shouldn't be walking in the room when his parents are trying to watch TV. Right, Kristen? That's the problem. These kids, well, look, I never wanted to be president. Did you, John?
No, I did not. And I think it's great that kids do not want to grow up to be politicians.
You do?
I mean, why do you want your children to do that, really? My favorite answer in this thing was the kid. They asked him about being president, and he said, "No, I'm going to be a shark scientist." And I think now that is a useful profession.
It is.
And it will, you know, help them deal with those fears we're going to talk about later.
Exactly. Well, look, we need shark scientists, and I mean, it combines two things I love. Nick, what do you think?
I just love that Highlights magazine is polling children, and it's, somebody got a phone call from somebody that was like, "Hey, this is Highlights magazine. Can I talk to your 8-year-old?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure. This doesn't seem weird at all." They're like, "That seems like too much pressure," and they're like, "I'm going to let this phone call continue."
"Hey, little boy, you want to be president? I'll give you some candy if you say yes."
"Can I put him on speaker?" "Nah, he's fine."
Yeah. And then they ask the many follow-ups, you know, because once you do one of those polls, they don't just ask the question. They have like 14 follow-ups, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.